Have you ever wondered how the apps on your phone or the websites you use every single day are actually made? It's not magic. It all happens inside a special kind of digital workshop. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and decode that workshop, Microsoft Visual Studio.
Yeah, that's right. Every single piece of software you interact with, your social media feed, those incredibly complex video games, even the operating system on your computer, they all begin as just text, simple lines of code.
So the big question is, how does all that text transform into a powerful working app? You can't just type it into a simple document and hope for the best. No, you need a specialized, all-in-one environment to bring it to life. Let's dive in.
So, I want you to imagine a place where raw ideas, those lines of code, are forged into the technology that, let's be honest, shapes our entire world. This is the developer's digital workshop. Now, this workshop has a technical name, an Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. The best way to think about it is like a pilot's cockpit. A pilot doesn't just have a steering wheel, right? They've got navigation, communication, engine controls, everything they need right there. An IDE gives a developer that same level of unified control, with all the tools for writing, testing, and fixing code all in one spot. So, what does that journey actually look like inside an IDE like Visual Studio? Well, it's this fascinating process that takes a simple idea from the very first keystroke all the way to a finished product that's ready for the world. Okay, so this journey, it starts with the actual coding, then it gets this huge boost from AI assistance. Next up is debugging, which is basically hunting for errors. Then comes rigorous testing to make sure everything is top-notch. And finally, deployment, which is all about getting it into your hands. All right, first up, writing the code itself. Visual Studio doesn't just give you a blank page. It has this incredible feature called IntelliSense. As you type, it intelligently predicts what you're trying to do, suggesting the rest of the command or function. It's like having a super-powered grammar checker and thesaurus for code, and it makes the whole process way faster and cuts down on silly mistakes. Now, building on that smart assistance is something even bigger, a full-blown AI partner called GitHub Copilot. It's woven right into Visual Studio. A developer can literally describe a complex problem in plain English, and Copilot will generate entire blocks of code to solve it. This is an absolutely massive leap in productivity. Let's be real, no code is ever perfect on the first try, and that's where debugging comes in. The debugger in Visual Studio is, frankly, legendary. It lets developers hit pause on their program at any moment, inspect every single thing that's happening, and walk through the code line by line to find the problem. It can even dig all the way down to the machine level. It's like a microscope for software. Okay, so once the obvious bugs are squashed, it's time for some serious testing. And Visual Studio has all these amazing testing tools built right in. Developers can write thousands of little unit tests to make sure every tiny piece of their code works perfectly, and then run all of them with just one click. This creates this super tight feedback loop that leads to much, much higher quality software. And finally, deployment. This is the moment of truth, getting the software from the developer's computer out to the world. Visual Studio is deeply connected with tools like Git and platforms like Azure DevOps. This makes something called CI/CD possible. Think of it as an automated assembly line that builds, tests, and releases the software, making the whole process smooth and reliable. So that's the whole process. But what can you actually build with this powerful workshop? Well, the sheer versatility might just surprise you. The answer is pretty much anything. Seriously, the scope here is just huge. You can build complex websites and web apps, powerful desktop programs, mobile apps for phones, and all the cloud services that power them. It's even a go-to tool for game developers who use big engines like Unity and Unreal. Oh, and you can build AI models too. The list just goes on. So how does it do all of that? Well, it's a true polyglot. It speaks a ton of languages. And this is a total game changer. By supporting over 36 programming languages, teams with different experts, say a C++ guru for performance and a JavaScript pro for the user interface, can all work together in the exact same environment. It really unifies the whole process. Now, this incredible capability didn't just appear out of nowhere. To really get why Visual Studio is so powerful today, it kind of helps to look back at its journey over the last few decades. It all kicked off back in 1997. When Microsoft decided to bundle all its separate programming tools into a single studio. Then, a huge moment in 2002, the .NET revolution, which gave us the C# language. Fast forward to 2010, the whole user interface gets a modern rewrite. And a really big one in 2022, it became a 64-bit app, which meant it could suddenly handle absolutely massive projects without breaking a sweat. And as we look to the future, well, it's all about that deep AI integration. Okay, we have to talk about something, because it's a super common point of confusion. You've probably heard of two different visual studios, right? Let's clear this up once and for all. So, on one hand, you have Visual Studio. That's the powerhouse IDE we've been talking about, the full pilot's cockpit. It's mainly for Windows, and it's built for big, complex, end-to-end projects. On the other hand, you have Visual Studio Code. Think of it as a lightweight, super fast code editor. It's open source, it runs everywhere, Windows, Mac, Linux, and it's amazing for things like web development or quick scripting. They're both incredible tools, but they're built for very different jobs. So where is all of this heading? The future of making software isn't just about having more tools or more features. The future is about partnership. The future is assisted. This quote from a senior architect at Redis just captures the idea perfectly. He said the tool was like having a built-in performance coach. I love that, because it's not just a passive tool anymore. It's an active partner that finds slow parts of your code and helps you fix them. And that's really just the beginning. The whole evolution of Visual Studio is now focused on making that partnership even smarter, with deeper AI that really understands what a developer is trying to do and helps them every step of the way. Which, of course, leaves us with a really fascinating question. For decades, the IDE has been the cockpit for developers building our digital world. Now, AI is becoming the co-pilot. With this incredibly intelligent new partner on board, where will the developers of tomorrow steer us next?